Hey everybody, and welcome to the Comic Cast. We thank you for joining us. Matt is not here with us this week. He is busy studying and keeping up with all of his nursing school work, and that's definitely keeping him busy. But he will be back with us. But we just want to send him all the good wishes and all the good vibes because we are proud of him for all the work that he's doing, and hope it continues going well because it has been going well so far. But today we're going to be talking about gender fluidity and kind of everything that entails, especially these days. It seems that younger people are able to just be themselves more openly, again, not having to fit a certain definition for what society thinks they should be. And to join me today to discuss this and to discuss so much more, we are excited again to be bringing on one of our guests. Now, she previously was here before and she got rave reviews from all of you and you wanted more of her. Everybody, please welcome Bree back to the show.
Hello. By the way, that was so cute. Like everything you were saying, I was just like, he's precious. He's a sweet baby angel. And I was looking for it. But thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here again.
Yes. So last time you were on, we talked about gender fluidity.
Yeah.
Or no, that's today. Sorry. Last time you were on, we talked about gender boxes and how growing up we were like stuck in like either male or female, and that's it. And that goes with clothing and toys and all that.
Yeah.
But we had so many people comment on that episode and so many people watch it and they loved it so much, and they specifically loved you. And
I haven't even seen these comments. So when you were saying that, I was like, what? Like,
when we did our live show the Friday after it aired, all of our guests that were on with us live that day were like, oh my God, it was so great. We loved it so much. And oh my God, she's so beautiful. Everyone thought you were the most beautiful. So,
oh, well, I mean, switch it up for you today. I mean, less effort, more glasses. So,
well, welcome back again.
Thank you so much.
With us today. So first of all, we have to talk about this news. This news came out earlier this week on Monday, of course, was National Coming Out Day. And so you had everybody posting about their coming out stories and why it's important, especially for younger people. It's gotten less so. It's still important, but less so, which is a great thing. But someone who did come out, we kind of heard these rumors, but someone who did come out was the new Superman.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, I did see that.
So this is Superman's son. And of course, Clark Kent was the original Superman. Currently now he is off-world in some other location. And so John is taking over for his father as the official Superman in the DC main storyline. Now, he has come out as bi, and so he's going to have a boyfriend. He's going to be in a relationship with Jay Nakamura. It's a new character that was introduced earlier this year. And so this is one of the images that they had released about Superman and his boyfriend. And then they have a lot other photos that they had released.
Ooh, that's sensual. They both look beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at the lashes. Wow.
Okay, when I saw these images, I was like, okay, I don't really read comics itself. I love comic book movies, but I haven't really read comics. And I was like, are the people in the comics this beautiful, or is this new? Because like, what?
I think it depends on like the artist and whoever is kind of like running that series. But I don't know. I mean, I've never picked up a comic book. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, I saw these pictures going around on Facebook, and I thought it was like fan art. So now, knowing that it's like the real deal,
well,
I'm gooped.
You know, I love the boyfriend has the pink hair. I mean, basically, this could be me. It has my glasses, my pink hair that I usually have. Like, wait, am I Superman's boyfriend? Like,
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
This actually comes on the heels of Tim Drake, who is the new Robin, who also has come out, I believe, also as bi. So you have a lot of these
Really?
superheroes coming out
That's
as bi
super
or gay or
cute.
whatever. I think.
Fun little story, like a little tiny segment. My friend Junie, his boyfriend, is actually he works with Marvel in some way, like Marvel comic books,
Mhm.
and he does the Spider Pig, I think.
Okay, yeah.
And he recently came out with a couple different comic books, and he like drew him and his boyfriend, my friend Junie, like in the comics, and like
Aw.
they're on like cute little like dates and like the background of the series. So it's just like it's nice that even something like small is still having like queer representation. But now the fact that like superheroes, that's huge. That's like really groundbreaking. And I mean, of course it's gonna get, some hate, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like it's just helping. It's helping kids.
One thing I like about it is, normally I feel like in the past, I think someone who is guilty of this maybe is Disney, and that they have a new gay character every week, it seems.
Oh my gosh,
And,
yeah. Disney's first openly gay character. And it's like in every movie.
and it's like someone who's like in the back, and you're like, wait, where?
I know.
Oh,
I think it
oh,
started with live action Beauty and the Beast.
yeah.
I think that was actually the first one with LeFou. Um, Mind you, the guy that LeFou ended up with was like real fine, okay? Like, let's not pretend. Um, but then they had, I think there was like just some family in Finding Dory, like
Yeah.
just like walking a stroller. But in Onward, um, they had, I think it was like one of the police officers that she had a wife or like a girlfriend or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, but like they need to have like a main character. Like,
I feel like they try to pull that within Jungle Cruise because Emily Blunt's brother was
okay, yep,
gay, but they kind of like
hinted.
hinted at it, and they also made it so it could be cut out. It was like one scene, and like if
Hmm.
we're sending this to a country, we can just cut that scene out, and it doesn't have anything to do with the movie. Um,
Yeah.
I'm glad in these cases it is like the main character. Like there's no getting
Right.
around with that, and obviously those photos. I mean, there's no doubt here.
I mean, it could just be like a girl with short hair. She just has like kind of small bosoms, like, just wearing baggy clothes. You never know.
Oh goodness.
So, like the
And
church moms say.
I love apparently it's not going to be he's having to save him or something. Like in the original Superman and in so many of these comics, it's the superhero saving the girl.
Right.
And
The
in
damsel in
this case,
distress.
yeah, like she can't handle herself.
Hmm.
But apparently Jay will be able to handle himself, and they're just going to have a
I love that.
relationship.
Podcasting from the Lone Star State in Southern California, you're listening to the Coma Podcast with Cody and Matt.
Okay, so we have come down to our segment, our icebreaker segment. We're going to play a little game, smash or pass. So this could get exciting. I don't know. So I have a few names. Bree has a few names. I'm going to ask her some names. She'll ask me some names, and we'll see who we smash or pass. The Rock.
I don't even really want to look up a picture. That's going to be a pass for me.
He could pick you up.
I don't like being lifted. I don't really like to be.
Well, then, yeah, that would have to be a pass because no matter what, he'd have to pick you up because you're smaller and
he seems quite large. Okay, number one, which is going to be controversial. Ryan Gosling. I'm going to give him a great big pass.
Pass.
I don't understand why he's constantly been in like at least like the top 5 of like the hottest guys in America. I think he was even on like the cover of like GQ or like Maxim or whatever for like the hottest man in the world. I don't see it.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yes, that's gonna be a smash. I just saw that he was on the cover of Time magazine.
Oh, well, and did you also see released, I believe, also on Monday, the first image of him in the new Willy Wonka movie? He's going to be Wonka.
Jordan Fisher.
Okay, so like I'm gonna just say pass, but like he's not ugly. He's very pretty, and
that smile gets
me. He's not ugly, but I would, if I was having to choose, I would say pass. I do love though, he has his nails painted, and I'm all for like guys painting their nails, whether they're straight or questioning or queer or whatever. Yeah. I love that because it helps stereotypes, and so he's breaking those in that case. So I do love that, but I would have to pass. So that's our smash pass. Coming up, we're going to be talking about gender fluidity and kind of how it's progressed over time to where we are now, from where kind of we grew up. That's all coming up next. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about gender fluidity. And so, when I think of this and kind of think of the whole like sexuality and, how things are in America, because that's all we can speak to, I guess. I'm not a world traveler, but I feel like today young people have opportunities to feel like they don't have to like pick certain things. They don't have to be like gay or lesbian or bi. That there is a fluidity to that over time might change, or not feeling that they need to even like say a certain thing. Like, what do you think, like, obviously from where we grew up, and you're a little bit younger than me, but to where we are now, to kind of like see that progression and see that change. Obviously there's still a lot that needs to be done, and for things to not be so like judgmental from others, but I feel like there has been a change in progression in allowing younger people to just kind of be more free, be more open, and kind of be themselves and not pigeonhole themselves into certain things.
Yeah, I feel like especially lately, like a lot of celebrities, and like we were just talking about, like they're now painting their nails, or they're like, how many guys wore like dresses to the Met Gala? You know what I mean? Where that's something that you like wouldn't have seen even like 5 years ago, like 10 years ago. So I think that's really wonderful, just to show that like, you don't have to be like super masculine all the time. And even like if you do decide to paint your nails, it doesn't mean that like you're now suddenly gay, which I think is great. It's just like giving people more freedom to express themselves the way they want to express themselves, and really just be who they are.
Yeah, I mean, it almost kind of goes hand in hand with our episode that we did with you last about the gender boxes and the gender norms. I was telling Matt the other day, I was at a happy hour in the neighborhood. So a lot of families get together, and people who live in the neighborhood have food and drinks. And the last one we were at, there was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 like young people, like elementary, maybe junior high, and then even some like toddlers. And they were all guys, and they all had their nails painted. But it wasn't like a thing. Like, it just was. I was telling Matt, like, the one was playing football with some of the other guys, and like they were just expressing themselves, and it wasn't like a thing. And I kind of just love that. I love that, we broke out of those gender boxes, and it's just allowing people just to be who they are. And it's not like, oh, you're wearing nail polish, you're gay, or something like that. And I just love that we're getting to a point where that is a little bit more acceptable. And I do think it does help when you do have celebrities doing this, because it makes younger people feel like, oh, well, it's okay if so-and-so is doing it, then whatever. Or like Jordan Fisher's doing it. He's not gay. I can do it.
Right. Absolutely. And I mean, of course, it does still like give like some kickback, because there's always those conservative people that are like, oh, you're turning like all our kids gay, like Lil Nas X. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, it's like people should just be able to express themselves like however they see fit. And I mean, it's funny that like I was just talking about this the other day that when we were younger, there was the term metrosexual.
Oh, yes.
And I think that's just so hilarious that they had to create like a whole box for guys that wash their face. Like if you used a specific face wash, you were metrosexual. Like if you wore a button up, like that was actually buttoned, you are metrosexual. Like that's just so funny to me.
That was such
Like,
the rage too. Like it seemed like everybody was a metrosexual. I think it was
because
even
of
in a song.
Ryan Seacrest made everybody metrosexual.
That is true. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of those things. I think also one thing that's kind of opening up a little bit more, and there's like science behind it and research behind this, but that um, your sexuality is kind of like on a line. You're not either or.
Right.
So you could be more leaning towards one side of the spectrum, and then later on leaning towards another side of the spectrum.
Mhm.
It's not, again, like you're gay or not gay. Like
Right.
there can be a spectrum in there that I think that is becoming more open and more acceptable for people to understand. I think that's kind of
Right.
what the gender fluidity also, and people not subscribing to certain things, and they're just like gender queer.
I think it was called like the Kinsey scale.
Yes,
If I'm correct. Yeah. And it was on like a scale of like 1 to 10, 1 to 8,
I think so. One to
something.
eight, 1 to 10.
Yeah. And it's like I personally do not believe that anyone is like on either end. Like, there's all those like cis straight guys that are like, you ask them, oh, do you think like this person's like handsome? They're, oh no, I'm not gay. Like, what? Like, I'm not asking you if you wanted to suck his dick. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just asking you, like you're able to find people attractive, and if anyone says that they like cannot find someone of the same gender attractive, or like if you're gay, someone of the opposite gender, like
Mm-hmm.
you're bold-faced lying. Like, I'm sorry to call you out, but I'm calling you out. Like,
Yeah, I mean, saying
no.
someone's attractive versus going out and making out with them in some bed or behind the bushes or whatever you want to do is
Behind
totally
Bed Bath and
different.
Beyond.
Uh,
It's just,
yeah, yeah. I mean, and I also think I mean, I guess like for me, for instance, like I wouldn't say I'm like hardline this or hardline that. I feel like we there's many new terms that are coming up throughout time
yeah.
that really I guess didn't exist. The terms themselves didn't
Mhm.
exist when we were younger, and they kind of are there now in some definitions, and it helps people like figure out, oh, I kind of identify more with what this is versus this.
Right.
But like like I guess for me, like and I know several friends who are like this, but like demisexuals,
Hmm.
and you have a sexual bond or an attraction to someone of any gender or anything like that, but you have to have some kind of friendship or some bond, emotional bond there before you may
Okay.
find them attractive or different things like that.
How does that differ from pansexual?
I feel like that they are somewhat connected. I think there are some differences
Yeah.
between the two. Um, I think like pansexual is a little bit more tending, I guess, to what we would say bi is, but there are differences between being bi and pansexual,
Hmm.
where I think pansexual, you can, be attracted to and open to really but any person of any gender or identity or anything like that. Whereas like demisexual, there has to be that bond, that emotional bond or something that has been formed before before that happens. I think all of that is fluid between those like kind of 3 or 4 that there are, and I think that's just something that when you look at that and you find kind of where you fall into place. But I mean, I think for like me, like we joked around last time in the last episode that I was like, oh my God, marry me. I want to marry you. And of course she denied me. But I mean, I obviously that would play into that. There was like an emotional bond, an emotional connection that we had. But then, I can have an emotional bond or connection with other people. And so, I think that's where I think it's nice as a person to not feel like you have to be stuck into the specific thing of like, oh, I'm gay. Well, I guess I can only date guys.
And I feel like that's definitely something that we also grew up with, I growing up would always like look at girls and I'm like, am I into them? Do I want to be them? Like very confusing. But then like coming out as like a homosexual man, I'm like, okay, now I'm like gay. I'm like, you feel like you have to do all like the gay things. Like, then I went real hard at like in clubs and I was there all the time. And I like listened to all like the hot gay music. And like, I was like, I had to change my wardrobe because I'm like, now I'm gay. Like,
except you did not know anything about Elvira really, which was a little shocking.
No. I also like wasn't obsessed with like Madonna or like Britney Spears or Beyonce. Like I didn't have one of those like queens.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really like that. And like you were saying, there's now so many different terms and, people have different ways to identify, which I think is fantastic. Whereas before it's like, okay, you were like gay or lesbian, like you could be bi, but like I even used to joke when I was younger, like when I was gay, that like everyone first comes out as bi, like before you really come out as gay. Like it was like a gateway drug into being gay. And bisexuality always got like this kind of like negative stigma. People like look down on people that were bi and like, oh, is that just so you can like date 2 people at a time? Or like just so you can like have sex with 2 different people, like, and that validates whatever, like, or you can cheat because it's not the same sex. Like, that's ridiculous. But now I like that there's like so many different ways to identify. Like I identify just as queer, in like the pansexual realm. I have dated guys, I have dated girls, I've been in love with both. And I don't even see a difference. Like to me, I don't feel any different if I'm dating a guy, if I'm dating a girl, if I'm like dating someone that's non-binary. Like it doesn't affect me at all as a person. It doesn't like, I don't see a difference. And I think that's, I'm a huge supporter of it. I think everyone should be like that. But I mean,
I don't, I obviously only have my own experiences and then those around me and friends. But, I feel like a lot more people do fit into this category, whether it's pansexual, bi, genderqueer, they fit into this like middle ground of kind of just like anything and everything, all accepting. I feel like that has become more of the norm, I guess. I feel like I don't want to like put anything of mine onto the world, but I feel like people, as they get older and they allow themselves to experience different things or to be open to these different experiences, that's when they end up finding out this about themselves. Because maybe, growing up, going back to the gender box situation, you're taught a certain thing, or growing up, when we were growing up, there were not all these like different definitions for things and words. It was basically gay, lesbian, like you were saying, maybe bi. And the only way we could learn about that was like a dictionary or something, because it wasn't taught in health class,
No, not at all.
And so younger kids these days also have the ability, the internet. And so they're able to explore, research things, learn about other people that are like themselves that we didn't have, because again, it wasn't taught in school. When we're talking about sexuality, meeting people who are lesbian and gay and bi and trans and pan, you're just such a more well-rounded person. You see things in the world a lot differently than, if you're just like gay, straight,
right,
nothing else.
And there's representation now, which is so important.
Obviously, we just touched on a little bit of gender fluidity and how, again, it's not just a straight line and you're not either or. It's a fluid line. You can be anywhere on that line. Obviously, as you grow older, you might start feeling different things and start, kind of coming into your own self, being more open to things, or being more open to trying things or accepting things. And again, like we talked a little bit, myself, demisexual, pansexual, bi, but we also next week are actually going to be talking with Matt's husband, David, about asexuality and how that all plays into things, because that's also part of the whole spectrum of things that doesn't get talked about a lot at all, even in the LGBTQ community. And so that me and him had a great conversation talking about asexuality and what that means for himself and what it actually means, because there's a lot of myths surrounding that. And that you can also be in a relationship and be asexual. It can be hard, but it's always possible. But we'll have that all coming up next week. So it's a great conversation.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you were here. So now we do this little segment at the end now where it's a last minute check in with us to see how things are going with us in our lives, anything crazy or fun happening. For me, it's just like, it's cooling down now. The fall weather is here. It is going to heat up this weekend, but I can finally go outside. I'm wearing a sweater inside because it's like cold in here. And so I'm just like, I'm going to miss the beach. I'm going to miss the beach. So if you see my Instagram or anything, I'm always at the beach on the weekend. I am going to miss that, but I'm ready to like kind of for it to cool down and just to be able to do stuff in the yard and just kind of relax and not be like sweltering heat, because again, we don't have air conditioning. And so it can get kind of gross. But that's something I'm really excited about. Coming up, the fall season is here. My Halloween decoration is up. I know you love the fall, and you've been like,
I love fall.
Everyone, you can follow her. We'll put it on the screen here, but you can follow her on Instagram. What is your Instagram handle?
Briana Marie XO.
And you have a lot of fall photos that you're posting. You're like all in the fall season.
Oh my gosh. We went to the mountains out in Colorado, and we went to look at the aspens, and oh my gosh, it was beautiful. Like, just so much color, and we took a boatload of pictures. So I was just like editing them and then saving like all these drafts to fill up a whole week's worth of Instagram. Like, like with all these fall puns, and oh my God, I was living for it. It's so much fun. I love fall. I've just been working a lot with my new business, Breeze Beauty Boutique. And I have started to offer classes. They're like gender affirming makeup classes, but they're not like only like for like queer people. It can be for allies. It can literally be for, your aunt. What did we say her name was? Carol?
Carol Cairns.
It could be for her. It's just, about like empowering and making you feel seen and heard, especially in the queer community, especially in the trans community, that, you have all these different questions, or you want to learn how to do this or how to do that, but you're embarrassed to go to Sephora and ask, the 18-year-old like cis white girl that like doesn't know anything, and like she's gonna laugh at you when you leave, like because she sucks, and like that's not who you want to be talking to. So yes, I now offer like single, double classes. I have a little package. It's virtual or in person, and also I'm going to be coming up with like a group class soon. So
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So where can they find out about this? You have a website?
Yes. So you can go to my Instagram at Briana Marie XO, or you can go to my business Instagram, which is Breeze Beauty Boutique _. That could be up in there.
Yeah. We'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah.
Everyone can see that. So go check that out. And especially, if you're in Colorado, you're right there.
Yeah, I know. It's easy. Yeah, I have my own little studio, like my own salon suite. And so, yeah, you can come in, like I can do your makeup. We can do a class. I also offer like permanent makeup services and tiny tattoos, which is fun.
That's exciting.
Yeah. But so doing that also in Colorado, I'm trying to figure out like a personal shopper kind of experience. So if someone like wants to buy makeup and they're like, I don't know what to get, like we can go to the store, we can hang out, we can grab some lunch, and we can like go into Ulta, go into Sephora and just get a big old haul.
Well, and that'll be completely helpful because like you said, not all the time, but many times people who are working in like Sephora or these different places may not really care. They're just there for a job, and they don't really care to spend the time to help you actually do something. The other day, you also, I'm going to say in the mountains, but Colorado is all mountains. You were in the mountains and you met a little friend, a little foxy friend.
Oh, yes. Oh my God, stop it. You inserted the picture. I love her so much.
Did you give her a name?
No. I was already getting way too attached to her.
Now, she appeared like regularly. It wasn't just like a one time and done.
Yeah. So we were staying in a cabin in Breckenridge, and I think this fox was like, a usual at this cabin, and it was like our first morning, and we're like making breakfast, and I think it was my mom. She screamed, she's like, "Oh my God, there's a fox!" And I thought it was like in the yard. Like we had a huge backyard, like this big deck that we would see like deer and stuff. But no, this beautiful fox was right in front of our front door. So we had like main door, and then we had two like glass panels on the side, and she sat right there. She was so precious. Like she would either be sitting there just like staring at us, or she would go like back and lay right in front of the door. She just hung out. And she came every morning and night. We could literally like open the door and call her, and she comes running over. Like, oh
my God, I would have had to take her. I would have had to been like, okay, you're coming home with me.
I know, I wanted to, but she was so like friendly. We did feed her. I know everyone can yell at me, but we did a lot of research first on like what she can and can't eat. And I know, like as soon as you feed a wild animal, they're going to be back all the time expecting food. I know. Sue me. But look at her face. Are you kidding me?
It was just like, she's just like adorable. Like, this is why I want like some land. I'm going to have a fox. There's an Instagram.
They became my favorite animal.
Yeah, so cute.
Thank you.
Well, again, thank you for joining us again on the show. Bree will be back. She'll be back to do a segment on something or a whole show again. She'll be joining us on a live too at some point in the future as well. Again, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Bye, everybody. So, hey guys, we want to remind everyone that you can keep in touch with us on all of our social media channels, whether that is Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. You can do all of that at the ComaCast.
And we definitely love to interact and hear from all of our listeners. All of this is not possible without you guys.
And if you don't